Hey guys, today is I think lockdown day number 8, and I just wanted to bring you something interesting. There are many people who have been also asking me, like, is there something which I will recommend people to pick up? Also, they were asking me, like, what is a good starting point of in comics? Simply because. For those who've been following comics medium, they would know that there are a lot of continuity that happens within the comic world. There are a lot of things that would have happened in the past which will be also kind of like influence the books which you are reading. So unless you have a background knowledge on what transpired before this, you may not get a complete idea on what you guys are exactly reading, right? So that's the continuity part in comics. Which becomes kind of like a confusing part for somebody who is very new into comics, who's just picking it up and just want to have a good time, and then from there take it forward, right? So what is a good starting point? And the answer to that for DC was in New 52. As you guys could see, it's marked as New 52, and the entire run of New 52 comics earmarked for DC a new starting point where the new readers can come in and they can pick up their favorites and then start reading from there on, right? So for me, New 52 is definitely the starting point for a new reader coming in, and it's also a very refreshing take for an old reader, right? The entire set of characters have gone, not everybody's past has been erased or replaced, but still there are some nuances, some change. It looks much more trendy, if I may put it, because the characters, even their costumes, the way they interact with each other, all has undergone a refreshing change in the New 52. And one of the books that I would definitely ask you to pick up is obviously Justice League, where you get the mix of all your favorite superheroes in DC universe in one place. So this is the Justice League Volume 1 Origin. In New 52, what DC did was they launched 52 new titles across the board, but some of them were unknown titles, and some of them wrapped up pretty soon. Very few of the titles survived the entire run of. So there are two things. One is 52 new titles, and those titles are supposed to run for 52 weeks, right, in a year. So that was the idea. Only few titles survived that. One of that was Justice League Origin. Others were like Batman, obviously. I remember Aquaman ran the entire run. I think Wonder Woman ran the entire run. So few characters and few titles did run, but this is one of the most exciting ones from that run. And also the team which did this was a very spectacular team, which put lots of hopes on this book. As you could see, it was comprised of Geoff Johns, Jim Lee and Scott Williams, three of the pioneers of the writing, artwork, coloring came together to in this book, right? It's written by Complex Magazine, called it like written by Geoff Johns with art by godly Jim Lee. Justice League is a must read, and it is. Trust me, it is a must read. So definitely, if you get a chance, do pick up this one. It's a top of my recommendation. Just showing you from back as well. You will see some slight improvement even in the facial features of Green Lantern, Superman, Flash, right? And the artwork is simply brilliant. So as the name suggests, this is kind of like an origin story of how the Justice League team came together, and that's where it picks off. And it's a different way. It's not the same old story being retold in a more colorful way. It's a new storyline, new origin, how these people came together and met, right? So I'm just showing you some artwork in these panels, and that gives you all the more reason to go and pick this up, right? I don't want to show the entire run, but just some 2-page spreads, such as the one for Batman here. Then we will, the way these characters are introduced in one go, it's brilliant, right? There goes Green Lantern and Batman meeting. First they both meet, not spoilers per se, but still some key parts of this book will be covered in this review, so don't feel bad. Just shifting through the panels. Okay, here it is. There comes Superman. He also has a splendid intro into this, right? So there comes Superman. So we have now 3 characters of Justice League coming in. Then we get, this is another brilliant 2-page spread, right? So simply because of this artwork, I would love you guys to go and check this out, right? After reading this, I felt I should get the entire run, right? And the piece of, simply outstanding artwork. Here, if you could notice, you have 3. You have even Green Lantern here. You have Batman. You have Superman. Everybody in this splash panel, right? And then we introduce Flash, and obviously we have more characters to come. This is also a good story. I think it also is very similar. It has some touch points with the Justice League movie. I think it's a very you will notice some of the relatable characters, although the main villain there and the main villain in origin is slightly different, right? So I'm assuming you guys know the origin of the next character here, and the introduction of the other character, which is Wonder Woman, in the next chapter, right? And she's also portrayed. So some of the nuances which you guys should notice is that she looks much younger in this book, whereas obviously it is meant to be so because this is in much earlier years of Justice League. Few things which I don't know how much you guys have noticed, but for example, the vests, the uniforms of Batman and Superman all has been changed, right? Wonder Woman also has undergone slight changes, so there are a lot of changes in the uniforms to bring them in the new light. I forgot what are these called, like they are like banshees, from obviously our well-known villain who will come towards the end. And these guys, all these characters are also shown a bit immature as compared to their recent continuity stories, where these guys are much more mature in terms of their relation, in terms of their communication. This storyline, okay, another character gets introduced, right? So that's number 6, sixth character, and we have one more to go, who will complete the mix for Justice League, right? Just taking through few other panels, right? Everybody in this storyline, nobody knows each other, nobody knows what the other's powers are, and what have they in their background story. So all that gets surfaced during the story in a very beautiful way, which is another very interesting part to this book. As well as they have a good storyline bringing all of them together, right? As to the need, because each of them were kind of like working on silos on their own. Now the big question was, why should they come together? Obviously, like in Avengers movie, they need to come together when there is a threat bigger than any one of them could face alone, right? And that's of course Darkseid. So yeah, so I'm just enticing you with these panels to simply show you the brilliant artwork of Jim Lee. I always loved him, but when Jim Lee combines with somebody like Geoff Jones, who is a mighty writer, right? And that's when these panels come to life. It's not just pure brilliant artwork, but it's also got to do with a lot of storytelling and writing, and the essence that goes into it, which is the highlight of this book. Another double page spread. Right now there is a full-on war happening between Darkseid and Justice League. So there are few books which I buy and few books which I keep selling to other people. I don't keep it for ever. I just read, enjoy, and move on. But this is one book which I will definitely not do that. It's for me, it's a keeper kind of book. I will not part with it. And this is, I think, the third time which I've been reading it. I've read it multiple times. Right, I enjoy the artwork, and simply if you just avoid the story, also just enjoy the artwork. That itself is a masterpiece, so as to speak. And finally, we get to see more of Cyborg, right, who is the 7th member of the Justice League, as you guys know. The funny part is how they don't even know what they're called, right? In their own storyline within the book, Flash names them as the Super 7, right? So it's much ahead of from here when they will actually be called as the Justice League. There are some follow-on stories to build up to the other books coming after this, but that's for another time. I'm just showing you some covers. Of course, this is my another favorite artist. This is by Greg Capullo. You could also see the way he changes the characters and the way they are, when under his pencil, the characters take a different look altogether, and I just simply love it. And there is no, they are not wearing the same uniform. Like I said, it's a single uniform for Superman, and there are slight changes in Batman uniform as well. Right, I hope you guys are getting it, the panels which I want to show you guys, and appreciating it. This is simply a brilliant 2-page splash. I would hope that I could get a poster of this one, right? And I could get all these characters similar to the Batman one I have here, line them up, have this poster behind them. I think that would look simply brilliant. But that's for another time. When I get there, I will definitely do share it, how the entire thing will look. Right, and then some, I think it's from Batman pages on, where Batman keeps a tag of whoever he works with. I think these are from those pages. But that's it, guys. I hope you liked Volume 1 Origin from the New 52 Justice League run, and yeah, that's one of my first recommendation for anybody who is coming new into comics. Trust me, guys, you will simply love this one. So thanks for watching, and have a good time. Stay safe. Bye bye.